Hey everyone, this is just going to be a quick video. I'm going to show you how to take those results you scan into Aware and do something a little more meaningful with them than just look at the response in terms of overall percentage. That's probably the view that you're used to looking at. So go ahead and open up your Aware. So if you remember, that's uplifteducationschools.com/aware/default. And you can this is the view that it should open up to first. You have a few different tabs here. You can click on those to look at different things. Now, if you notice, each one of these sections is just going to show you a certain group of kids. So if you want to look at everyone, click All My Students. I'm going to move this off just so I don't see any names. And from here, I'm going to select the test. If it's a test that you made, you'll select Teacher Test. And drill down into that until you find the exam that you've made. Okay, so just off the screen on the left, it shows the student name and their ID number. So I'm going to keep that off the screen for the time being. This view right now that you're looking at is called the individual student view. So this is where you see all of your kids. If you go to the left, you'll see things organized a little bit differently. If it's something you've shared with other teachers, you could look at that in these tabs. Other schools, you could look at this tab. Right now it's showing you the student score, so this shows you the percentage that they got correct. But we can change this. These are the views that are going to be a lot more meaningful. So if you look at this, we can look at this. We can look at their test results in terms of objectives rather than their raw score. So this is showing ELA benchmark 1. It doesn't look like any objectives were assigned to this. We'll look at standards instead. So if you put some TEKS in here or some other standards, you'll be able to look at it here. Okay, and so now we can see those standards that were assigned to this test. Now these aren't the questions, these are the standards that were assigned to this test. So if we had 8.2a assigned to several questions, this will show you the average across those questions. Since I'm seeing 100% and zeros for a lot of these are probably just one question. But if you notice here, we see 33%, so I know that this standard was probably assigned at least 3 times. Same thing here, so it looks like this standard was assigned 4 times. This is a really good view because I can use this to show me how well my class did as a whole. Now if I wanted to see how did my class do rather than how did these individual students do, this view is really good for tutoring, but you might want to think, do I need to do any whole group reteach? So for that, click the little schoolhouse. You click the little schoolhouse, we're still looking at the standard breakdown. And here I can see something that's a lot more interesting. So here I can look at everybody, Laureate Secondary, all of my kids, 95 kids. This is how they did on each standard. So overall, it looks like something I might want to reteach, probably this standard here. Whatever that was, I only had a 37% average. So that is something I really need to look at. Other things that look particularly strong, I might want to target more as tutoring. So 8.2b, definitely wouldn't want to waste my time doing whole group there. And F19F and R, definitely wouldn't want to waste my time doing whole group there. But anything that's less than 50% might be something that's wise to do for everybody. But if I want to get back to that individual student view, I can click this. So this is showing my individual student view still. And this is the same standard breakdown. Now if I want to see all of their responses, this is another thing that's particularly useful. This is something I can use to see their actual question responses. So looking at this exam, it looks like it was a 12 question exam, and here I can see the standards where they're assigned. So it looks like some of these were repeated, and I can look to find out which questions were answered more commonly compared to others. So this is showing me for each individual how they answered. But another thing that's particularly interesting is looking this in a school view in-house here. And this shows me of my students which questions, or excuse me, which answer choices were responded to most often. So I can look at this and find out there's ones that were 50% that I looked at before. So for example, this one, only 36% of people got it right. About the same amount of people picked G. So I would pay particular attention to what was it about G that threw people off. I could look at the same thing for other answers too. And if I want to kick that back to my student view, I just click back on student. and we're back. So I hope that was useful for you. That's how to break down your AWARE exams. I'll be uploading another video sometime this weekend about how to take this information and then put it into an Excel spreadsheet and make it really handy to make tutoring letters. It's through a mail merge. But I hope this video was useful for you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out.